One of the things I wanted to make sure I had on my rotary cutter was a chain guard. I ordered that kit, it finally came in. I went over into the valley with my son yesterday and we picked it up. Round piece mounts right here, those 3 holes. Got a 7-foot straight piece that mounts right here in the back. Let me go ahead and put it on. That cute little piece of metal and chain there cost me $500. I think that's pricey, but I'd much rather have it than not have it. I know I could have fabricated something that would have taken me a whole lot of time, and time is not something I got to play with right now. So let's get her done. Doesn't fit. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I would think that this would fit in flush against this piece of metal and not have this big gap right here. That does not look like something that I want. So I'm going to take a couple of pictures, and since it's business hours on a Wednesday, I'm going to call Titan and find out what I should do. I'm going to go ahead and put the rear guard on before I call Titan to find out what's up, since I may end up having a problem with the back as well. I don't know until I put it on there. It's got a pretty good curve. That curve, I'm gonna have to flatten it out a little bit against here, so I want to make sure it lines up and fits properly. You've got these spacers that sit right here to hold it off. Those are necessary because of this bend right here. I'm not really sure what the design purpose of the bend is, but I'd be willing to bet somebody else thought this through and they know better than me. So start off by well, got that in there at least. Well, it was in that hole, but I don't think that hole is going to fit mine, so here we go. Maybe I'm supposed to have another bolt in there holding it steady. I'm not sure. That looks pretty good. I guess we'll find out. So I called Titan Implements in Tennessee, and they told me that I have that this is installed correctly, and what I need to do is tighten this down, leaving that bit of overlap there, and that there's supposed to be a gap. Now I looked online at the pictures that they had. They didn't have any close-ups. Didn't look like that to me, but maybe the angle was different and I couldn't see it. I don't think that's the case, but I'm gonna go with what the man said when I called support, and I'm gonna tighten that down. He said snug it up, it'll hold, won't be a problem, and there's going to be basically I guess that's about 1/4 of an inch of gap, 3/8 inch gap, 5/8 inch, I ain't quite sure, but there will be a gap in there. And he told me that my brackets here are on backwards, so forget what I said about it bowing and that being how you can tell, because I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm gonna fix that. First I'm gonna get the front end of it on and see if I can get some grass cut today. Figure out how I'm supposed to get down, get my fat body up underneath this darn thing. That's gonna be something. So that's how they told me to fasten it up. Here you've got more than half an inch overlap. There's a gap. That gap closes as you get to the middle, where the metal comes together, which means that I'm basically bowing this thing in, the little frame of it, bowing that in. And around on the other side, it's the same thing. You got a ½ inch overlap. You've got a gap here, about 5/8 inch, I guess. And that goes all the way, well, 3/8, sorry. You got a gap of about 3/8 inch, and then it kind of flexes and bows into it. Somehow that just does not seem like that's how it should have been designed, but that was the solution. I've got the front guard on. I've got the rear guard on according to their instructions. Got the brackets turned around the right way. It looks pretty good to me. Let's go put her to the test and cut some grass. Well, I'm rather pleased. Seeing as high as the grass was, getting it laid down like that fast with that little effort. Usually this is a very hot, sweaty job, and walking on this uneven stuff, a little rough on the knees. So there were a couple of times there where I turned the wheel to go up a little bit steeper and didn't want to turn, a little bit of a pucker factor because it felt like the front end was shifting a little bit. So I'll learn what I can do, what I can't do. Some of that might be because the grass that I was cutting is so long, it was laying down, so you got a lot of long grass there. But I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with it. All in all, I gotta say that I am very impressed with the Titan 1507. I've already smashed in the guard here from backing over those big trees, but it's the only way I can figure to get it done. So I guess that's just how it is. Worked like a champ, knocked down some 3-inch saplings, 2 to 3 inch saplings. It chopped them up real good, no problem. Learn how to drive it. I just got to learn how to handle the tractor with this on it in this terrain. That's all. Overall, got to say I like it. Real happy with the purchase so far. I'll probably, once I get 50 or 100 hours on it, I'll probably give another review of it. But thus far, I got to say it's definitely worth the money.